They'll play the All-Star game tonight, and not one Texas Ranger will take the field. Is there any way it can still be a midsummer classic? I think so. We'll explain why next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Yeah, it seems like one of those guys should be there, and it's probably true that if he were, he wouldn't be pitching either. Hi there, and welcome into the DLLS Sports Studios. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. Jacob deGrom not pitching in tonight's All-Star game, and if Nathan Eovaldi were there, which he should be, he wouldn't be either. He pitched on Sunday. But anyway, let's talk about all of it. It's All-Star game day. John Radigan here. Jeff Wilson there. We've got Ryan Vaughters in today, and we want chat, questions, and comments from you all hour long. We're here to wrap up your lunch hour as we go from now until around 2 o'clock live. And, of course, if you're watching this at another time, thanks for tuning in. So here's the deal. It's a weird set of circumstances, Jeff, when pitchers, are selected. I mean, how many pitchers did we see over the weekend that said from both leagues, I'm not going to be able to participate. I pitched on Saturday.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the All-Star game, the All-Star break should just be a whole week. Or the All-Star game should be on Wednesday. Jacob deGrom said if he had thrown Friday instead of Saturday, he would have pitched. And his bullpen day is today, and he acknowledged that, but he also, didn't know if you should get, ramped up for, one inning of work. So I don't know. Eovaldi, I mentioned it to him that he wasn't on the team, and I said, well, you're throwing Sunday. He goes, well, knowing me, I probably would have pitched anyway.
Yeah.
So I think he would have been pretty fired up for it. And then you kind of read these stories about we got McJowers in there going off on the Brewers kid Mizrowski being in there after 5 starts, and how the Phillies guys were upset, and I guess that Ranger Suarez had been asked if he would pitch, but would he be available for more than an inning? To which he said no. So they moved on to the next guy. And I don't know. It is curious how this guy ended up on the roster.
It is.
Because did the players really think that highly of him?
They did.
And that's supposedly how this thing is supposed to go. The replacements are based on the order of the player vote. I think in a case like the Rangers, or any team that just has one guy, if your one guy can't participate or declines to participate, somebody from that team has to go. I think that's a reasonable way to do it. And, maybe you have trouble finding a second White Sox player.
Right.
Or a second Rockies player.
Yeah.
But, the Rangers, hey, they got some guys. So, anyway, it is what it is, as they like to say. And Jacob will line up on the I guess, where are they? They're in Atlanta, so that's the
Truist.
So they'll line up on the first base side.
I
think the home team there is in the third base dugout.
Yeah.
Anyway, they'll line up and everything will be great. He'll get introduced, and then the game will go off, and he won't be missed. And Rangers fans should actually, and the Rangers should be thrilled that he's not
absolutely 100%. And I love the fact that he's basically there, and he's said this. He may have said it to you, Jeff, but he said he's there because he wants his family, the kids are getting a little older, the older kids, to realize, like Dad's an all-star. Like he wants them to experience the joy, the fun, the adulation that comes with being an all-star. And so anyway, I think that's great that this is basically, essentially, Jeff, in the middle of the summer, a family vacation for the deGroms.
Yeah, and where better to vacation than steamy Atlanta?
They can go to the beach. Oh no, they can't. Yeah.
No. I mean, I guess the good news is that Jacob lives not far from Atlanta, down there near Daytona Beach. So there's the beach.
Yeah.
Slide over there for a day and then head back. He's not going to pitch until the second series, so he's got some time off. His oldest son is Jackson, who gets it now and plays baseball and all that stuff. Nolan is the new one. I guess new, like 2 years old, maybe getting close to 2. So he doesn't know what's going on. I think they have a daughter too. I'm not.
They do in between those two. Yeah.
So
she's probably conscious now, right?
Yeah, she probably has an idea.
This is
that
cool.
Her dad's pretty cool. And you never know when you're going to get another one. Now, I would suspect that if Jacob is pitching this way this year in his first year back, that there will be opportunities for him to pitch in future All-Star games. He really wanted to start one. He said that to us the other day off camera. In 2018, he had an opportunity to do it, but the game was in Washington, and Max Scherzer was on the team, and so Max Scherzer got the start. And Jacob was like, "I totally get it."
Yep.
He wasn't upset about it. He pitched the second inning, and then everybody remembers how he came into I think it was the 16 game. No, 16 was San Diego. So it would have been the
17.
The game in 15, I think. Anyway, because Bruce Bochy was the manager of the National League team. And
that's right.
So deGrom goes in and strikes out the side on 10 pitches. He almost had an immaculate inning.
Wow.
And so that's Bruce Bochy's first real memory of Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
Was that performance there.
Pretty good one. Yeah.
Look, the guy's totally an all-star and is probably going to be again as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah. Well, and it was interesting. I saw on the socials, I think it was the Rangers ran around and asked a bunch of opposing player all-stars, what's it like to face Jacob deGrom? And their responses were exactly what you think, but, best player on the planet, comfortably uncomfortable, excruciating, were some of the things. Nobody said, oh, it's great. Oh, it's a day at the beach. I mean, everybody said, this guy's unbelievable. He was literally called by one or two of them the best pitcher on the planet, which we've also heard, we've said, we agree. We've heard it from Jonah Heim. I mean, I think even to this day, the guy is the best pitcher on the planet, and you can make a case, Jeff, he's even better now than he was in 17. Was it 17 and 18 that he won the back?
18 and 19.
18 and 19, he won the back-to-back Cy Youngs.
And he's a little smarter now.
That's what I mean. He pitches now, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't just throw.
Yeah. I think it was 21. It might have been 22, 21. He had an ERA for most of the first half underneath 1.
Yeah.
And I think it finished at 108. He got injured, but he was pumping 100 pretty much every time, every pitch, every fastball was 100 miles per hour. He's dialed that back this year. He said in spring training, less is more, and maybe it is, but he's still tinkering with his mechanics and fighting those things. So, but he's great.
Yeah,
he's as advertised, and the thing is, this is his bounce back year, his comeback year. You're given grace in these years, and they don't expect a lot. So theoretically, he could get better as this goes on.
So the first question in the show was about Nathan Eovaldi and our thoughts on him not being there. Let's first go to our colleague Abby Jones, who is in Atlanta, and she caught up with one Jacob deGrom to give us his thoughts on Evo not being there.
How dominant is the starting rotation? And what's the ceiling for them?
Everybody's just kind of feeding off each other. The season Evo's having, honestly, he should be here at this. And we're just kind of feeding off each other. Jack, Kumar have stepped up, done a nice job. Patrick's done a great job, and it's just, trying to pick up where the other guy left off. And it's go out there, try to have quick innings, and let the offense get back in and try to put up runs. So as a staff, not trying to do too much, one pitch at a time, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he thinks Evo should be there. We think it, and most fans think it. Even not just Ranger fans, Jeff. The guy's only 5 innings away from being a qualifier. So if you're going to say, well, he's not a qualifier, well, hell, neither is Mizorowski. Now, granted, that's the other league. It's not like he took a spot away from Nathan Eovaldi, but 5 starts compared to what Nathan Eovaldi did is nothing. Now, I just can't believe. When did you say the vote was, the player vote?
It ended in late June because I remember distinctly seeing it on the signs, the whiteboards in Baltimore, and then that Friday coming home from Baltimore, turn in your player votes.
So at that point, Mizorowski only had 3 or maybe 4 at the most starts.
He had started against Skeens while the Rangers were in Baltimore.
Yeah, right.
And a couple guys commented on it, and they recognize that he's really, really good. But of course, that's the other league, so the Rangers didn't vote for him. But I'm not sure if it's an out of sight, out of mind thing. I don't know what the ballot looked like. Like, did they only give to the players the qualifiers?
Maybe
stats with the qualifiers on there, and I don't know that a lot of players are going to put a whole hell of a lot of research into this.
No, or
dig
right,
in beyond
in
what's
candidates.
handed to them.
Yeah.
So it's not right, but these things happen all the time.
They do.
Unfortunately, there's snubs in every All-Star game for every sport, and but this is a pretty big one for old 1.58 Nate.
That's right. We got a new nickname for him. I don't know how long it'll last.
Not very long.
At least until his next start, we have him 158 Nate, as well as Nate the Great and Nasty Nate and all the other
big game Nate. Yeah.
Big game Nate, all the other monikers that he has. JC's in there saying, baseball's the only all-star game that's still acceptable to watch, and I agree. I mean, especially if you're one of your guys, but it's going to be a good game tonight. You see a lot of great talent and a lot of great pitching. Obviously, the starting pitchers, Tarek Skubal, obviously, and is just such a fun guy to watch, as is Paul Skeens. I mean, that's going to be a fun starting matchup.
Sure.
And that's it for 1 inning. Yeah. But everybody they sent, and I just saw on Twitter that Dave Roberts said he's starting Kirsch in the 2nd inning.
Okay, well, good.
And then he said, I'm going to give him 2 outs and then put the Padres guy in there. So I don't know if that's a little slap at the Padres, but Dave Roberts embraces this thing. And who knows if it's Clayton Kershaw's, it's likely Clayton Kershaw's last All-Star game. He was a Legends pick, or whatever the heck the commissioner calls it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't offer one of those every year. But yeah, I mean, I imagine Clayton Kershaw, he's still got enough juice left in him to get fired up for these All-Stars.
I bet. And if you're gonna let's go back to this, the Miz here for a second. If you're if MLB wants certain guys in the game, like they do with Kershaw, and they have the Legends exemption, why not a rookie from every league? One rookie from every league. And if that guy gets voted in, like Jacob Wilson did for the A's, then you go to the next guy. Okay, and how about a utility spot? I think that's a pretty good one. Josh Smith. The reason Josh Smith isn't in the game as an alternate is because he was on the ballot as an outfielder.
Did he play about 10 games maybe in the outfield?
Maybe, yeah. So I think that's something else. They're going toward the utility Gold Glove, the utility Silver Slugger. Do a utility,
absolutely.
And he may not have been the guy. What is it, McKistry from the Tigers?
From the Tigers,
who ended up making the team. He's a guy who plays a lot of positions. Dylan Moore, for the Mariners, the former Rangers draft choice. So there are guys around the league like that. So I don't know. There are ways to do it, but Eovaldi not being on there's a a pretty bad bad job by the players.
It's fairly egregious, but as Jeff said, a lot of times, I mean, when it was all fan vote, it was even worse, right? It was a popularity contest, and a lot of it had to do with the popularity of a player the year before, and consequently, you didn't get the best guys on there. So anyway, that's been rectified some. Still should be a fun game tonight, and hopefully a midsummer classic. More coming up as we continue on this All-Star Game Day, and we're going to talk about the draft, a new entry in All-Star festivities, but the draft is done. Let's talk about how the Rangers did and more next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Folks, it's time for you to get some new floors. Ours are holding up pretty well. It hasn't been a year yet. Here in the studio.
No, it looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah. The Wilsons need new floors, and when we get them, we're going to EmpireToday.com. The OG DLLS sponsor. We love them, we appreciate them, and they love you too because they want to give you the home field advantage, and they want to give you $350 off your first purchase of new floors at EmpireToday.com/DLLS. So you schedule the estimate. They're experts. They're flooring experts. That's all they do. One of their experts going to come to your house, probably ought to clean the dishes and pick up some stuff, take the trash out, but he's coming to your house. She could come to your house. They're going to help you match your floors with the furniture, go through the variety of choices and prices, and by gum, if you want, in many cases, they can start the next day. So again, EmpireToday.com/DLLS for $350 off your new floors.
So there's three things we know that humidity does. Humidity makes wooden doors and windows expand, so they'll stick. You sometimes have to kick the door open because the wood has expanded. They'll make curly-haired people's hair frizz, humidity will. And humidity will make your crotch, as it is,
swampy.
It'll make it swampy. It'll make it chafe, frankly. Crotch chafing is one of the three. So look it up. Those are the three. Yeah. Humidity. It's what they do, what it does. And you have a solution for all of them. Well, I don't know about the windows.
I think that's in the Constitution, actually.
Is it in the Constitution?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it might be an amendment.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have a solution at least for the crotch, and that's Mando. We encourage you to get these products and put them on your crotch or your pits or anywhere else that you feel like you need them, certainly. Anywhere that you get chafing. Mando.com, DLLS, $5 off the starter pack. I think let's look it up here. Yeah, it is the Constitution. Okay, good.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So Rangers have 17 picks they made? Is that what it was?
Yesterday, 20 overall. They made 17
yesterday.
On the last day of the draft.
Okay. So 20.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
I mean,
I saw Kip Fagg said he intends to sign all of them. I saw last year they only didn't sign 3 of their players. So
they
that's the goal.
Yeah, and that's part of it. You don't want to waste your time and energy on a guy, and draft him and then not get the deal done. And
sure.
Sometimes there's a risk, and they know that they're not going to sign him, but they take him anyway, and maybe they can talk him into it. But it was a pretty straightforward draft, I thought, as far as them taking guys. They for instance, and we talked about it yesterday. In a draft, you'll see a guy 7th round senior from Georgia Southern. It's like, oh, they drafted him because they're only going to sign him for $1,000.
Yeah,
and they're going to use that money on the slot savings somewhere else. They did that with their 10th round pick. I thought kid from Central Missouri, I believe it was, a pitcher. And but the rest of the guys are pretty straightforward. And the curious thing, couple curiosities or interesting notes. They signed 2 players with Metroplex ties. Ben Abelt, who went to TCU, but he's from McKinney, left-hander in the 5th round, and then in the 9th round, we were trying to figure out how to say his name.
Yeah,
Owen. I gotta think about that. Prooks. So he explained it was Brook, but with a P. So Prook, and then you add the SCH sound. So Prooks. And he's from Duke, but he grew up in Southlake and went to Southlake Carroll High School.
Born in Wisconsin,
and he's a Brewers fan.
Yeah.
But now he's a big-time Rangers fan because they're signing his paycheck.
Sure, of course.
So
Who can
anyway,
blame
so
him?
the two local guys.
Yeah.
Now, Abelt was one of 4 guys who either just got out of Tommy John or are in the midst of recovering from Tommy John. A.J. Russell, the second rounder from Tennessee, he had the Tommy John brace deal last June and pitched for the Volunteers this year, 25 innings. Abelt went down right before the start of this season, so he had the surgery. Meister did it, and he'll start throwing next month, he said. And then the 4th rounder, Mason McConaughey from Nebraska, and the 18th rounder, Julius Sanchez from Illinois, all guys who are recovering from Tommy John. So why on earth would they do that, you ask?
Yeah,
and it's a fair question because the Rangers did it twice last year, and they have a history of doing it at other times too. You kind of, and this is being very cynical, but hey, they got their Tommy John out of the way.
Yeah,
they got it out of the way. So then the other part to that is, these guys would have gone higher in the draft had they been healthy. Like if Russell hadn't had Tommy John and had a full healthy season, the Rangers think he's like one of the top 10 or 15 guys in the whole draft.
Yeah.
And Abelt was a preseason All-American. He was moving to the rotation for TCU, and he probably would have gone higher than the 5th round. And then I would assume the same for the McConaughey kid from Nebraska. So they feel like they're getting some value out of it. They trust their rehab staff and player development staff. I mean, Keith Comstock, the former major league pitcher, he's been their rehab coordinator forever. And so he hangs out in Arizona in the sun and gets these guys up every day because it's monotonous and it's tough. And they've had the success stories, of guys who have come back from Tommy John and pitched really, really well. So they feel good about these picks and the chances going forward. These guys will be productive players and, either get traded or pitch for the major league team.
Sure. And 15, 20, or certainly before that, years ago, you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
You drafted a guy who's had Tommy John or who, whatever. The reality is they all have or will have Tommy John now. That's just the reality of the game today. So like you say, you might as well have a guy who's gotten it out of the way. Now, the top 2 pitchers in the Rangers organization have both had it twice. And that's, Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi.
Right.
Evo's last one, I think, was like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's had some of his best success since, and he had success before a second one, but he has had some of his best success since.
Yeah. Kumar Rocker.
Yeah,
Cody Bradford is having it now, and it's not always these guys that are trying to throw it through a wall. I mean, Cody Bradford, God bless him, throws about 91.
Yeah.
It's just bad luck is all it is. It's putting the arm through a motion that is not natural. You see these college softball players, and now I guess professional softball players, they can throw every day because they're throwing underhand. It's natural.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of power and whip and everything that goes into it, so it's not like they're just lofting it in there, but it's the natural movement of the arm, whereas the arm's not built to do what these arms are doing these days. So, don't be surprised, Alejandro Rosario, who is due to have Tommy John surgery just any day now, apparently, for the last 6 months. He was throwing 98 with a nasty slider, Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen to a lot of guys. And so these 4 have gotten it out of the way. So, hey, hats off to them.
Step ahead of the game. To your point about the All-Star thing, that young gal from Texas Tech who they gave $1 million to come over there, Tech did, and from Stanford. She actually did pitch every day, every game, every step of the way. But then when she got to the final game against Texas, it did seem, now again, it's not like she blew her elbow out.
Yeah.
She was just tired.
Right.
Yeah, she was fatigued. But yeah, pretty much you can throw every day with that natural motion. And it's not, we talked about yesterday how it's the new spin rates and all those things. Look, I mean, it's an unnatural move to throw to have your arm and your shoulder and your elbow throw a ball that hard. It's not natural for the body to do that.
Yeah, and then when you do things even more unnatural, like overpronating on a sweeper,
right,
or going the other way with a power curveball / almost a screwball.
Yeah,
it's just adding more wear and tear because those are power pitches. I mean, the sweeper may only come in at 84, 82, 80, somewhere in the 80s, but you're throwing it with the intent of making it do something powerful, like dive out of the strike zone by 3 feet.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear Keith Meister talk about it. And again, we got to get Keith on.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like he's operating on guys
daily. Yeah, he's a busy guy.
10 times a day from 7 a.m. to
he pretty much does
5
anybody
p.m.
in Major League Baseball and even major colleges.
Well, he did Ben Abelt, and he did McConaughey. And he did Brock Purdy, the 49ers quarterback, for crying out loud. I mean, he's 1A. The Dodgers doctor Elatrache is also a leading guy, but you're talking about a world-renowned guy,
Sure.
who works for the Rangers, or they keep him on retainer or whatever it is.
However it works.
Yeah, I'm sure he makes his money off of them just fine.
Oh, yeah. He's not hurting, I'll tell you that. My son had ACL surgery at his place, and so we were there a lot. And, he's got a really good setup there in the one in Arlington. I think he's added a few more, too.
There's one in Mansfield, and I think there's one in, like, Plano.
Out north somewhere. Yeah, somewhere like that. Yeah, so anyway, the Rangers are really blessed to have a guy like that here because, then it's really easy for everybody to do their rehab right there at one of his facilities. So, but anyway, so it was a good draft. The Rangers, we said yesterday that the Rangers, president of baseball operations is of mind to never do you have enough pitching.
Right.
And what did they take? 11 or 12?
They took a lot of pitchers.
I think they took at least 11, maybe 12 of the 20 were pitchers. They're just, they're going to do that. That's the way they go. I was a little surprised if I read it all correctly, Jeff. They never did dabble in catcher.
But they have signed. They have signed a guy, an undrafted free agent from Cal Raleigh.
Okay.
And you can do that. That's something that was new in the 2020 draft after they reduced it so significantly in rounds, and they've maintained that. And you can sign those guys up to $150,000, and so sometimes it's better for the player.
Sure.
To
not get drafted. Although I thought I read on MLB today that your allotment is only for your first 10 rounds.
Yeah.
And then you have that 150 available to anybody after 10, unless there's more money left in the allotment. And then you can give some of that to that guy.
There are some tricks and such. And, but you can't, there's a certain number you also can't go over.
Total.
From 11 to 20.
Oh, yeah, 150, I thought.
And so it's there's just a lot about the draft that a lot of people don't know, including me.
Right.
And,
it's changing.
Yeah.
And it's changed drastically lately. So
I mean, it's not 40 rounds anymore. It's 20, and and it's just crazy stuff. So let's see. Russell, you count Owens? He's a two-way player. You got to count him as a pitcher, right? McConaughey, Abelt, Ciari. God damn it.
Brooks.
McReynolds, Jacob Johnson from Pearl River Community College. That sounds cool. Jake Barbie, high school kid. Aiden Robertson from Walters State, which is where Brett Martin and Cole Drake went to college. Then Landon Manzi, okay. Jackson Grossman, Julius Sanchez, Corey, looks like Geinzer. So that looked like 14.
Jeez.
So that's a lot of pitching.
Out of 20. Yeah. And again, that's the way that Chris Young anyway rolls. It really is, and he's probably right. It's generally correct. You have more need for pitchers than, which is amazing because it's one spot. But but again, it's half your team, right? Between the starters and the relievers, it's exactly half of your roster.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, you need that many in order to have enough, and especially with every one of them at some point needing a year off for Tommy John surgery. So
one catcher, Noah Franklin, a prep from Florida.
Okay, good. All right, good.
And McJowers, y'all forget we had a beast international signing class. I've heard that the next signing class, if everybody stays together, is gonna be one of the best ones in Rangers history.
The next international,
the next one, so 26.
Okay,
I've heard 27's looking pretty good too. So, and yes, they are already scouting kids who are 12 years old.
Okay. Jeez,
and so they're talking 2031 and 2032. It's a heck of a deal down there, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of this next class.
All right, we are looking forward to that. We're looking forward to tonight's game. Last night was fun too. Our own Abby Jones, as we mentioned, is there, and she was a significant player in the home run derby. We'll talk about it and her involvement next on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Oh, but first we gotta do some game time in here.
Yeah.
I know that this is John's favorite app. His best friend is Nicole. With game time. On the sports scene, the Rangers open up here the second half with 9 home games.
They do.
The first 3 are against the Tigers on the 20th. It's the Sunday night baseball game. That's the Scooball game. And there was speculation last night during the home run derby that was the game Eovaldi was going to start. Plenty of tickets available on Game Time, where you download the app, you find the game or concert or comedy show or play you want to go see, and the seat chart pops up. It has the prices. That's the all-in pricing. You hover your little cursor over it, and you get to see the view. I mean, Game Time really does have it all. It's one-stop shopping, our favorite secondary market. So download the Game Time app, use the code DLS on your first purchase, and you get $20 off.
So the Rangers' immediate future is so bright they got to wear shady rays. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. But anytime you can get a line from Tim Buck 3 into the show. Tim Buck 3. What a great band name. Anyway, Shady Rays. If the Rangers were wearing shades because their future was bright, they'd be wearing Shady Rays. You should too. They're my favorites. That's my latest pair of Shady Rays. I'm in the market for another. It'll be my third. If you go to shadyrays.com and use the code DLLS, you get 35% off the relatively low price of these Shady Rays. And they are basically forever glasses because they'll fix them or replace them if anything goes wrong with them. So there's no reason not to go ahead and get you a pair of Shady Rays. Tons of colors, tons of sizes, tons of looks. I think you're going to love them. shadyrays.com. All right. So Abby's there yesterday, and that's actually, I don't know if we mentioned it when we did the deGrom interview, but that was her interviewing Jacob deGrom. She's kind of been...
Yeah, we mentioned it.
Yeah, okay, good. There's only one Ranger there, so Abby's kind of just following him around.
Yeah.
She's part of the family this week. But anyway, it's such a fun week. 3 days, I guess, 4 days, depending on. I mean, they've made it a week in the city, like it was here last year. But in any event, it's a fun 3 or 4 days. There's a lot of activities, a lot of fanfare. Of course, for me, one of the biggest has always been, Jeff, the home run derby.
Well, sure.
And that last night happened, and Abby was there. And let's look at the picture first, Ryan, if you don't mind. So Abby's up there just minding her own business, doing her work in the auxiliary press area, and one of Cal Raleigh's home run balls hit. You see the dent in her computer? It hit Abby's computer. So she needs a new computer. I hope she asked Cal for it. Actually, we know she didn't, and we'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, I love that picture. She gave him the ball, and
She did.
It's probably the only home run derby ball that he got back.
It might be,
Yeah.
You know, and it's very. Of course, you're going to give it back. You're not going to hold him up for ransom as a media member. I mean,
No.
I might have said, "Hey, Cal, my computer needs some repairs."
Yeah, how about a new computer?
How much did you just win for winning this thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's my Venmo, buddy.
Yeah.
But I think that that's pretty cool, and you know, just her opportunity to give him the ball. He seemed very appreciative, and you know, another memento from what was a huge deal. You know, it wasn't just him out there by himself. It was his dad throwing him the BP. His dad was money, man, and then his brother was catching.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cool
Like
family affair.
15-year-old brother.
Yeah.
Young kid.
Yeah. So I thought that was neat, and the one issue though I take with this is that he advanced to the second round. He tied with Brent Rooker from the A's, and StatCast apparently, or some measuring device, says that he hit it like an inch further than Brent Rooker, 471 feet and 6 inches.
Oh, jeez.
And Rooker was like 4 inches or something. It was ridiculous. Make him swing it off.
Right.
Make him swing, hit a homer to advance. And I think Brent Rooker was a little upset by it. I saw a headline. I didn't read the story, but I think though that MLB got the story they wanted. The guy who leads the majors in home runs,
38 bombs,
and is you know, on pace to break Mickey Mantle's record for a switch hitter, and is an MVP candidate. And just a good dude and a good story. I mean,
with a great nickname, the Big Dumper.
Yeah. So
the
I
Big
mean,
Dumper.
I think it was a good story. I liked, you know, O'Neill Cruz was pretty impressive.
513 feet. You like that, do you?
Yeah. And Junior Caminero from the Rays, who was the runner-up. He's a heck of a player, man.
He had one robbed, you may have seen, by an overzealous. No, and actually, as it turns out, I saw today they gave him credit for that home run.
Right.
Even though some kid out there, ball boy, I think he was actually the son of the official scorer in Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's that guy's son. And anyway, he went up and he made a nice catch. He robbed him of a home run. I guess back in the day, somebody else got robbed and they didn't count it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and now they say if it was going to be a home run, we still count it. And how much fun for that kid to be on. He was like the highlight on ESPN and all that stuff last night.
And there was one of the kids who, like, he did it, and the kid was going like this, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him, but I don't blame the kid for trying to make us. I'd have tried to do like the Gary Matthews thing, man. I'd have been climbing that wall if I'm out there. So, anyway, it was relatively fun. Now, some of the people, and look, I don't know if, so Rooker was doubly upset because I just happened to see on the tweet this morning that some guy says, "Really, Rooker, you got to feed your baby? We need you to play baseball."
Oh,
I'm like, shut up. And he was too. He's like, yeah, at 10 o'clock at night or whatever it was.
Yeah.
My baby needed a bottle, like, just shut up, dude. These, faceless people on social media. And by the way, who cares if he wins the home run derby or not? I mean, he may, but you as a fan shouldn't care, not that much.
Yeah, people suck.
Take a shot at the guy.
A lot of people out there that just suck. Yeah.
Unbelievable. What were the other things I wanted to? Oh, and the kid. The one thing about the home run derby, they interviewed the whole Raleigh family afterwards. But the 15-year-old brother, they said, "Well, what are you going to get out of this? You did a nice job back there." And he said, "Well, I'm 15. I'm hoping he'll give me a car, maybe a truck."
Yeah, I thought they won a car, or at least they used to.
Oh, do they? Yeah, that's right. They did used to. My brother used to give that thing away. He worked for GM at the time. But anyway, so a big night with the home run derby. Here, let's show Abby actually giving the ball back to Cal Raleigh.
Oh, it's fine, but I want you to have it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a home run, you said?
Yeah, it was one of the home run balls. So.
Thank you so much.
That's very nice. Abby's a sweet person. Go
She
over
is.
there, find him, and give him that ball.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, sign this, you
Right.
sign this for me. And it brings up the memories of all-star games and certainly home run derbies past. And I didn't realize that actually, I guess it makes sense with leap years and all that, Jeff, but it was 13 years to the day, 2008, that Josh Hamilton had arguably, I'm sure if it's arguable, the best performance in a round in the home run derby.
Yeah, I think his record's been broken. It was 28, but where he did it,
And the
Yankee Stadium,
circumstances, yeah.
his first All-Star game, and then to be embraced by the Yankees crowd,
Yeah.
was just really cool. It was the last year of Yankee Stadium, and good. It was a good that was my only time to Yankee Stadium because the Rangers had played there during my honeymoon, and so the All-Star game was there. So I went to the All-Star game and was in the old press box and the old tunnels to the dugouts and all that cool stuff. And then for Josh to do that, and of course everybody doesn't remember. We remember he didn't win the home run derby.
No.
Justin Morneau from the Twins did because poor old Josh was worn out. But he had Clay Counsell, I think his name was, he's 72 or something, throwing in batting practice from North Carolina. And, every pitch was perfect, and Josh just was crushing balls. It was just kind of a magical night. And it was looking back, and it's like, wow, that's something cool that I can tell my kids I was at.
Yeah.
I told Henry today. He was like, really? I was like, yeah.
So did he see replays of it?
He's seen videos of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a magical night. I had a chance to interview the coach. I guess it was his former coach that was the pitcher that night, and real humble guy. North Carolina guy and a real down to earth guy. But boy, he grooved that thing, man. He threw it exactly where Josh wanted it, and Josh knew that. He knew that coming in. Like he brought him from North Carolina for a reason.
Right. And and those are kind of the cool things that happen in an all-star in a home run derby.
Yeah, and the Raleigh family involvement last night is another, right? This is a family game, a family event, and so to have your dad out there throwing to you and your brother, 15-year-old brother behind the plate catching, not that you have to catch that many, but
it's pretty amazing. 40 pitches in 3 minutes. It's rapid fire stuff, so I could see how that'd wear you out.
It really would. The 513 by O'Neill Cruz is a non-Coors Field record, right? So at Coors Field, all bets are off, Jeff. I wonder what the record is at Coors Field. But, if you at non-Coors Field venues, 513 feet is the record by O'Neill Cruz. And did you see his reaction after that round? He was really fired up and should be. That's regular people don't even know the feeling of hitting a ball that well. I will say this, just from being a rank amateur golfer, but when you pure a drive, or really any shot, but if you pure a drive, it's a really good feeling. And I'd have to think, and it doesn't hurt. There's no, sting. And I'd have to think that's how hitting a 513-foot home run is, right?
Yeah, just
like you barely feel it. It's just like you swung so easy. Nicklaus used to say that in golf. The farther I want it to go, the easier I swing.
Right.
Right? And I imagine that's what O'Neill Cruz's sort of approach was yesterday.
Well, it's impressive. I'm sure he's got a win in him somewhere down the line here.
Yeah.
He hits the ball as hard as anybody, or harder than anybody in baseball. And so, it seemed like, I know Cal might not agree with us, but because he won it batting left-handed primarily, but it seemed like the right-handers had an advantage because Cruz didn't advance. James Wood did not advance, and they were left-handed hitters. And I think that poor Chess Chisholm in his 3 homers, and at least Olsen from the Braves got hot and made it interesting. But It wasn't great for lefty hitters, and it wasn't great for left-handed hitters last year. I don't even know I think there might have only been one in the one in here in Arlington.
Yeah. I saw a meme on the socials that says Jazz Chisholm in the All-Star and the home run derby last night. This poor 400-pound man does not even know how to swing in a batting cage somewhere, like those cages at the on the roadside. And it was bad night. Who did Soto? Oh, Soto hit one 525 at 520. So at 520, not even that significantly much further.
It's what, 1%?
Yeah. Maybe that's about what the altitude gives you. Not really sure. But thank you for that, Ryan.
It gives you a lot more than that.
Yeah, we appreciate Ryan coming through with that. That was the talk about the big time home run derby. More to talk about as we try to clean this up, get to some of your comments. If you have questions, bring them, because on All-Star Game Tuesday, there's not a lot in the cleanup segment. So hang with us, chat with us. We're back with that right after this on the DLLS Rangers podcast. And when we say this is a big deal. This is the new merchandise. Yeah, there they are, the Dallas Collection shirts. You see, Jeff and I have two of the three on the bottom row. I've got the Nolan Ryan commemorative shirt as he punches Robin Ventura. And Jeff's got the Dallas versus y'all, which is a pretty damn cool one, too.
Yeah.
And really, all those are great. I saw KG, our buddy from the Mavs show, was wearing the Mavs one, and I may end up getting. I'll probably get at least, Jeff, the other. Well, I'm going to get the one you have, and the other two in the top row on the ends.
I anticipate getting
all of them.
No, I'm going to get the first one on the top row.
I like that.
The Vegas sign type thing, the Mavs shirt, and then the Nolan shirt.
Yeah,
those are all pretty sharp.
Yeah. So anyway, you go to store.allcitynetwork.com and you can be a part of this Dallas collection of shirts. They're pretty cool. We appreciate our guys. These come to us from our design crew in Denver, and they do a good job. They consult with us about what we should commemorate and those types of things. So anyway, very cool, and we want you to do that. We want you to be a diehard too, don't we, Jeff?
100% we do, because you get a free shirt, hello, and then it's only $80, $79.99 for the best coverage of the Metroplex sports teams in our area. We're better than the Dallas newspaper. I won't even mention the Fort Worth newspaper. It's so embarrassing. And we cover the teams in depth, daily podcasts, which are free. But the thing about becoming a diehard is you get to read all of our stories that are behind the paywall, and most of them are behind the paywall. My story today, I published it late last night about the draft, the remainder of the draft class. That's behind the paywall. I'm going to be writing a couple stories here today that'll be behind the paywall. So it's important for you to be a fan. I'm way over the 2 minutes, by the way. But anyway, become a diehard at alldls.com/join.
Yeah, and we went over the two on the new merch. We had to rave and fawn over the new merchandise. So we hope you'll be as excited about it as we are. So a couple of things to talk about in the cleanup segment. First and foremost, Jeff, that ABS system.
I'm looking forward to that.
Will be in use tonight.
Yes. I'm looking forward to people seeing it who haven't seen it.
Yeah. Ryan and I were talking before the show. He was working in the truck at a spring training game. And his initial impression was how quick these decisions are made, right? Everybody's so afraid that with this, automated ball strike system, that, it's going to bog down the games, which we all love, having been speeded up. But in spring training, it didn't.
No, and you can go to minor league games also if you want to head down to, I think Round Rock has it. I don't think Frisco does. And it's quick. It's the pitcher, catcher, or batter, if they don't like the call, tap their helmet or tap their head. The umpire comes out, turns on the mic, says, the batter's challenging the strike call or the pitcher's challenging the ball call, whatever, shows it on the scoreboard immediately, and then the umpire comes and says, call's confirmed, call's overturned, counts, whatever. And that's it. It takes less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. I don't know if I ever did during the spring. Or is it the umpire on the field right there that gets to decide, or is he incommunicado with somebody in New York? Or
they're just watching the scoreboard.
Just right there, as you can see. Yeah,
because they have the rectangle,
they have
and the
box
square,
in there.
and if it's outside the box, it's a ball. And I believe it'll say on the screen, if I remember correctly, ball or strike.
Okay.
So, but it is fast, and then the game continues. And my concern about it is if you have a real crappy umpire, which pretty much all of them are, you gotta cap it. You can't have 10 replays a game.
Right.
You got to figure out a way to cap it, because some of these guys, you're gonna be every batter, every pitcher's gonna
right.
Jacob deGrom the other day, his third pitch of the game against the Orioles, right down the middle, ball. He's hitting the head, right?
Yeah.
And then in that same at bat, the strike called to strike 3 to Jackson Holliday, he's going to challenge because it was a ball called a strike. So I mean, that's 2 in 1 at bat.
Yeah.
It's going to get out of control if they don't find a way to limit it. It's kind of like the replay now. Well, actually, it's not. You get 2 challenges in the minor leagues.
Right.
You get 2.
Right. And but don't you get to keep it?
You get to keep it.
So you have 2 forever if you're right.
Right.
There's always 2 in the sort of in your wallet if you're right, but if you're wrong, you only have 1 left. And then if you're wrong again, you have none.
Yeah. So it's
so managers would probably tell people, tell their guys, be judicious with this, right?
Right.
Be damn sure that you're, because we've only got 2 of them. But so the limit is there right now, although, as you say, as bad as these umpires are.
Well, if you keep getting it right, though, that's the problem.
That's the thing. If the umpires are wrong every time, guys just keep challenging and challenging, and that would, I don't know that it would, because you say it's quick. I don't know that would slow down the game necessarily, but it would bog down the game, right? We don't want to sit there every third pitch and watch the scoreboard. Yep, he's right. It's a strike.
Yeah, but you got to make sure, like if you're a pitcher and you're walking guys left and right, and you think one's close, but you can't be on tilt. You got to be smart about it. And same thing with a hitter. If you're 0 for 3 and you're going for the golden sombrero, you got make sure you're right.
You know what? Yeah, just let it go. Just take the golden sombrero at that point, because you damn sure don't want to challenge it and go, nope, that is your 4th strikeout, son. Go sit down.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you haven't seen it, I think you'll enjoy it tonight. Do they have the limit in place tonight?
I'd assume so. Yeah, but I don't know.
2 per team per night. But again, you get to keep them alive as long as you as a team are right. You'd think they probably have a good officiating, good umpire crew on the game tonight. Maybe
Dan Iasonia, he's the plate ump. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's it. The ABS system is working. All About Sports Zone tells us that Scooble asked Fried if he was okay with him starting the All-Star game, since Fried is a former pitcher in Atlanta. Again, if that's true, I hadn't heard that, but if that's true, again, it's another example of Scooble being a pretty good dude.
Yeah, and recognizing and the moment and respecting the other player, and Scooble's still pretty young. He's not a Fried was a free agent for the first time this last off season, so he's got more time in the game. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I had not seen that All About, and it's good to see you. I hadn't seen in a while there in the chat.
Yeah, nice to be there, and I think that it's one of those rules, unwritten rules of baseball that are not a bad thing. One of them says you defer to the older guys, right, in virtually all circumstances. And we probably don't see that enough in the game today. And so I like that. I think that's kind of an old school approach there.
Yeah, the game's changing to where the rookies have it a little bit easier, and so it's definitely trending in the right way. Don't have the rookie hazing and not acknowledging the rookies and not talking about them and things like that. They still are put in know their place. They still have the pink backpack that they have to carry to the mound and do little things like that. But it's a lot easier to be a rookie than it used to be.
Does anybody still do the dress up the rookies like the Rangers used to do?
It wasn't that long ago that they.
I know.
I don't know if they've stopped or not. I don't remember.
I feel like
doing
they
it.
have stopped, and
but I wasn't on the last road trip last year. But I don't remember seeing any pictures.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any pictures either, and I hate it if they have, because they'd dress them up and they'd make them like get out of the bus a block or two away from the airport and make them walk in their get-ups to the not from the airport but from the hotel, and they'd make them walk a couple of blocks in the get-up to the hotel. Now, there were a couple of times I was on the trip when the last series of the season was in Oakland, and so they stay in San Francisco, so they'd get off the bus a couple of blocks from the hotel there, the Westin St. Francis in San Francisco, and they'd blend right in. No, nobody even looked. Like, oh yeah, look at those guys. Oh, there's SpongeBob. Yeah, oh look at that. I mean, it was like it didn't matter in San Francisco. Yeah, everybody's dressed like that. So
yeah, I remember Adrian Beltre's last year, so 18. They were in Anaheim, and then they went to Seattle, and he actually dressed up with the rookies.
Did he?
Yeah, I think they were
cowboy thing or something.
It was like a cowboy or farmer.
I kind of remember
barnyard
that
type situation. Yeah, so he did it. He had overalls and a hat. I remember that.
Look, and Adrian Beltre is one of those guys that looks pretty good in anything he wears.
Yeah,
it's
right.
An amazing thing. But yeah, that was a fun tradition, and it was, what's the word? Harmless, Jeff. Harmless hazing.
It was, and I don't know. I'll be on the last road trip, so hopefully they
Oh, you are on that. Good, yeah. Good. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, that way we can, have some fun with that. Take some pictures of that, all that kind of stuff. Rangers, of course, don't have a game today with the All-Star game, nor tomorrow, nor Thursday, but they do have a workout at home on Thursday, Jeff, as they get ready to start the unofficial second half of the season with 10 days at home.
Yeah, knock off the rust, if you will, get the body back doing baseball stuff. And it won't be a hard workout or anything like that. And I would guess that certain players will be excused from it. I would guess that Jacob deGrom is permitted to not be there because he didn't have a
break.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Couple things here in the chat here that on the radio they're talking about if the Rangers get swept by the Tigers, they would make everybody besides deGrom and Eovaldi and Langford available, and apparently that includes Corey Seager. Whatever. I don't think that's founded in anything legitimate. I don't think that the Rangers are going to trade their core guys.
No, and I did see one earlier about the possibilities with the Dlls, and I still think he's the one that would be possible. And I've seen some traction on several sites about the possibilities and the interest in Adolis Garcia. The interest is up a little bit because he's played well and hit well for the last month or so. And the Rangers know they're going to have a decision about him to make. We believe Sebastian Walcott could be the right fielder of the future, right? You got to find a spot for this guy. Granted, he hadn't played it yet, but he could be, right? So, okay, maybe Adolis is a candidate, and especially if you can get something decent back for him. But I don't think any of those other guys in the core are candidates.
No, I don't either. And should they be? No, I don't. They put this thing together, and have structured payrolls going forward with these guys part of the mix. And it's this isn't a teardown situation.
No.
These aren't guys at the end of their careers, at least in the case of Seager, and I would say Simeon too. I mean, I know Simeon's a little older, and everybody was talking about he was showing his age earlier on this year, but he looks like
not lately.
Spring chicken right now.
Yeah.
So, and another thing, if the offense is picking up, and Adolis Garcia is part of it, and that's the key to your team getting back into contention, I don't know that they are going to trade him.
Well,
so
no chance. All right, so that's that. We're back tomorrow, but it's a later show, and it's a special one as we do our What If show. And there's a group, and you've seen some of them already clear social media. There's a group of what if questions that we ask and answer. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, a special time for the DLLS Rangers podcast. And, of course, we'll be back at Thursday, on Thursday at 1 o'clock to bring you our normal edition of the DLLS Rangers podcast. We'll see you then.
We all silly like the mayor.